Good morning, everyone. It's been a long time since we've had this kind of big gathering, so I kind of want to let you just go on chattering and hearing the room noise, but we should get started. I am Dr. Karin Edwards, and I'm honored to be here speaking to you all today as the president of Clark College to deliver the State of the College address. I'm grateful to all of you who've joined us on campus here. As you know, the last 2 years we've been on a hiatus from in-person events because of COVID. So now we're working to resume more on-campus and in-person activities, and I'm very happy to have you in my company this morning. With nearly 60% of our classes being in person, whether that's fully in person or hybrid, and we're creating more opportunities for us to gather together. We are slowly but intentionally rebuilding our post-pandemic community here at Clark College, and this is our community. I want to take time to acknowledge Clark College Board of Trustees. Paul Spear is with us this morning, his chair. Christian Conseco Juarez is with us this morning. And couldn't make it this morning are Denise Gideon, Jeannie Bennett, and Rika Strong. But I want to thank you both, all of the trustees, for your continued support. Really appreciate you. Also want to acknowledge the executive cabinet for Clark College, if you don't mind standing real quick. I really appreciate your support and leadership, and just want to give a very quick shout out to Vanessa, who's celebrating a birthday today. We have several members from the Clark College Foundation Board of Directors with us and the Alumni Board. Many thanks to all of you for what you do. I hope you know how much I appreciate you. We have several other guests that I want to acknowledge as well. We're quite honored to have our newly elected U.S. House Representative, Marie Glusenkamp-Perez, with us. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us this morning. We have Senator Murray's office represented today, along with Governor Inslee's office. We have local, county, and city government officials. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, there's something special about Clark College that we draw that kind of crowd, right? We got power in the room. Thank you so much. I also want to take a moment to thank our community partners for their support of the college. This list is way too long for me to go through everyone, but there are some organizations that I want to call out, like Workforce Southwest and Columbia River Economic Development Council, the High Tech Council, College Career Network, College Career Connect, with whom we work to increase economic, community, and workforce development. We have educational partners in the room this morning, ESG 112, our local school districts. I know that VPS is here, and I think I saw Evergreen as well. The Migrant Education Program, the State Board of Community Technical Colleges, and Washington State University at Vancouver, with whom we work alongside to provide seamless opportunities for our students to transfer. Our alumni and area employers who hire our graduates and provide work-based learning opportunities, whether it's in healthcare, in culinary, teaching, automotive, mechanics, business, technology, human services, surveying, journalism, and the list goes on. Thank you, because those opportunities are not only benefiting our students, you get to benefit from those as well. Members of the college's Social Equity Council, Southwest Washington Equity Coalition, LULAC, the NAACP, Fourth Plane Forward, and the Council for the Homeless, they join us in our quest for social justice. Want to acknowledge you all. And last but absolutely not least, I want to thank the faculty and staff for their unwavering commitment, their time and their energy and dedication that you have provided to Clark College that fuels the success of us moving forward. If our faculty and staff, if you don't mind just standing so we can applaud you as well. Thank you. Clark College, through its programs and services, is providing and preparing students for opportunities, for upward mobility, and meeting the educational and workforce needs of our community. These partnerships we are building will only help add to the health and welfare of our community and to help our communities thrive. We really value the contributions all of our community partners make and look forward to expanding and strengthening these relationships. As per usual, before we get into the substance of the address, I will offer the college land and labor acknowledgement. We say these words not for performance, rather as an ongoing reminder and a call to action for what needs to be done in order for us to achieve a free and just society. Clark sits on the ancestral and current lands of the federally recognized tribe of the Cowlitz and Lower Columbia people. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We pay respect to Indigenous elders, past and present, as we respectfully consider the many legacies of violence, erasure, displacement, migration, and settlement that brings us together today. We also acknowledge that the nation has benefited and profited from the free enslaved labor of Black people. We honor the legacy of the African diaspora and Black life, the knowledge, skills, and human spirit that persevere despite violence and white supremacy. Using Michelle Obama's book as a platform last year, I shared with you the college's journey to becoming. Clark, like many other community colleges, was profoundly impacted by COVID. Our students, our faculty, our staff, our finances, and our structure was all impacted. We embarked on a journey of rethinking and redesigning. And while this process is still evolving, there are some things that we are very sure-footed about, and that is that equity, excellence, and student success are foundational to everything that we do. This year, I'd like to share with you our theory of change and the tenets of our newly revised strategic plan. I'll provide an overview a little later in the presentation, but first I'd like to introduce you to Casey Figone. Casey is our student body president, and he's going to share a few words. Casey.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Figone, and I am the ASCC Student Body President. Now, I'd like to give you a quick update on the current state of the students at Clark College. I would like to start off by asking you a question. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word endurance? In my time of being a student at Clark College, I have come across some wonderful and fascinating characters, several of which have their own set of challenges that uniquely distinguishes them. I have met students that work a full-time job, work part-time at Clark College, maintain over 40 credit hours, and have family members to take care of back home. Other students do not have security in their housing guaranteed, and some do not have housing altogether. These last few years have been demanding on both Clark and its students. Each of us have had to make adaptations to maintain our way of life, and for many, that meant sacrifice. Perhaps the one thing to remain consistent in these wild times has been our eagerness for community. Despite the challenges that these students come across, they come to Clark for help. They seek help with finding food, housing assistance, financial aid for their education, and to find belonging. They come for the vast support systems that Clark offers, remaining as a beacon of community to the Pacific Northwest. Truly, the people studying at Clark are champions. The drive and endurance that can be found on this campus to make a better future continues to amaze me at every corner. even after studying for over 3 years at Clark. This is what makes Clark College and its students unique. Compared to last year, the Associated Students of Clark College has seen change in the campus and in its students. More opportunities for student employment are being filled. Classes are slowly returning to a nice balance of in-person and online. The campus holds more people each and every quarter. Higher attendance at events has been noted, and the students are finding their confidence again after the displacement of the pandemic. My story fits into this as a 2019 graduate from Ridgefield High School. With average grades, Clark College was an obvious choice, but I never really imagined that I could fit in with higher education. Prior to my attendance, I had always believed that I was not really worthy of it. When I saw the dedication of the staff and faculty to its students and community, I knew that I wanted to get involved. And through the community at Clark, I found my passion and my sense of belonging. And I am now studying for a computer science transfer degree. Thank you. When you hear the word endurance, I would like to ask you to think of the students at Clark College and for their unparalleled drive. But beyond that, I would like you to think of yourselves. Without the amazing faculty and staff at Clark College, there would be no beacon for the students. You are the soul of that beacon that makes Clark College consistent through every obstacle. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks so much, Casey. Endurance is certainly a word that describes your commitment to the college and the commitment of all of our students, faculty, and staff. I appreciate your service and leadership to ASCC. I was going on a little bit with the C's there, Casey. And looking forward certainly to what the future holds for you. At this time, I will share a brief enrollment update for you. Last year, the college conferred, and the information is on the screen as well, conferred over 1,700 degrees and certificates. And that included over 1,300 associate degrees, 71 Bachelor of Applied Science degrees, 193 certificates, and 177 basic skills certificates. Our fall and winter term enrollment has stabilized after an accelerated decline during the pandemic. We exceeded our fall target for state-funded full-time equivalents by 159. And that was for the fall and 134 for the winter. That's impressive for us. We were on a real sharp decline before the pandemic, and then it was really heightened during the 2.5 years of the pandemic. For the last fall term, we had our head count was over 7,400 students, which equates to the 3,874 full-time equivalents. And winter, we're still over 7,000 students, but 7,156. So still serving quite a large population of students. When we look at where our students are enrolled, what programs they're enrolled in, as you can see, about 20% are in a career technical program. More than half of our students indicate that they're looking to transfer to a 4-year college or a bachelor's degree program. 11% are basic education adults, and 12% other could be they got a certificate either through our continuing ed program or some short-term certificate. This is just a comparison also for this current academic year. The numbers are about the same, 20% in career tech, 53% in transfer, 14% basic education, and 14% is others. And as you might guess, enrollment is directly correlated to our budget, and so I will go ahead and talk about the budget now. For the current fiscal year, our state-funded FTEs is trending slightly higher or positive. We see that our state enrollment is flattening out compared to the previous 2 steep declines that we've had. We're projecting to end the fiscal year serving approximately 4,100 state-funded FTE compared to what we budgeted for, which is 4,000. This is about a 102 FTE above what we budgeted for, and that's great, but it's still significantly lower than what we are funded for, which is about 7,200. On the other hand, our running start enrollments are still declining, and we're projecting to end the year serving approximately 1,300 FTE through the running start program, and we budgeted for more than 1,400. This represents a gap of 143 full-time equivalents, and these trends translate to about $800,000 a year. We expect to underspend because we're serving fewer students, and that should balance out some of the revenue loss. However, it's important to remember that we also built our budget this year backfilling an estimated revenue gap from both our fund balance and the federal CARES funds that we had. And to the tune of $2 million, and for the $2 million came from our fund balance and $4 million from the federal CARES fund. So we backfilled about over $6 million in our budget to kind of close that gap. Unfortunately, this deficit carries forward as we build the budget for the 2023-2024. Of course, we're going to look at ways to streamline and increase efficiencies, but also make some strategic investments in new programs and innovative services. We know we can't cut our way to prosperity, so we'll be making some strategic investments as well. There are three key areas that I will highlight today. There are others, but three key areas I'll highlight today that will kind of help us in this work. And they are continuing and community ed, the Clark College Foundation, and also Boschma Farms campus. So over the last 18 months, community and continuing education focused on rebuilding to better serve our community, and I'm happy to report these efforts are resulting in some significant growth. With support from communications and marketing, the CCE department, as we call it, has a fresh look and feel for its class mailer, which was currently distributed to 72,000 residents. That's good. The department continues to recruit and work with existing Clark faculty and staff to teach classes and customize training. Collaboratively, they have expanded the lifelong learning opportunities for our seniors in the community. This year, CCE was awarded a job skills training grant for $175,000, and they will be providing training to local businesses and expanding programs in the community. In addition, they've restarted customized training programs and negotiating several contracts. Thank you, CCE, for that work. And other exciting news I'd like to share with you is the progress, and I don't think this one is a secret. Boschma Farms is out, which I'm happy about, but this is another project that we are very excited about. The college's 49,000 square foot Ridgefield campus at Boschma Farms continues to move forward. The project recently hit the 20% design milestone, and this is a contractual step in the progressive design build process. And the first milestone in the design that gives us our first real look at the draft design of the exterior and interior of the building, and allows the college to begin to plan around the internal design elements such as walls, technology, power requirements, and furniture planning. Rendering about It also serves as a course correction for the design team in preparation for the next major milestone at 45% of the design completion, and that's expected in late March. At the 45% building design, we will complete enough to negotiate the guaranteed maximum price, or GMP, prior to signing final construction contract. And we have our construction and design team with us today, so thank you all for your partnership and working with us. The project contractor is gathering bids this month from various vendors and subcontractors, and by the summer of 2023, we expect the site work to begin for this new building, which will house our advanced manufacturing program, 5 general-purpose classrooms, student support area, and community building space. At this facility, we'll feature an integrated technology pathway. This will be an associate's degree in advanced manufacturing, where students learn skills in subtractive manufacturing, additive manufacturing, material science, and robotics over a 2-year period. Additional programming is being explored and should be available at this site as well. So we're very happy about the progress with Boschma Farms. The expected completion date is spring of 2025, and we look forward to its opening and continued growth and expansion of educational efforts in North County. A key partner in the Boschma Farms project and that development has been the Clark College Foundation, and I want to acknowledge them for their own success in supporting the college. But this year, Clark College Foundation celebrates 50 years old. Yay! The Foundation's mission is to inspire the joy of philanthropy in support of student success and program excellence. But it's also much more than that. For years, via the help of investors, advocates, faculty, and staff, the Foundation has raised millions of dollars and thousands of supporters in the community, particularly students. I've had the pleasure of working with the Foundation team and the Board of Directors to heighten and enrich the support, advocacy, and impact the Foundation is having at Clark College and in Clark County. As the new Chief Executive Officer, Karin Ouellette joined the Foundation this past June. Welcome, Karin. He's meeting with the Executive Cabinet and engaged in planning and visioning for the college, and I really appreciate your counsel, your activism, and all that you do for us, Karin, in elevating the endeavors of the college. The Foundation is an essential pillar to our success, and I just want to acknowledge that. Another example of the Foundation's support is the McClaskey Culinary Institute. And in this state-of-the-art facility, students gain real-world experience in high-volume food preparation, service, and retail settings. Again, I want to thank the Foundation and Karin for supporting me, the faculty and staff, and our students. And now we have the pleasure of hearing from one of our students in the culinary program, Imani O'Neill.
Hello, my name is Imani O'Neill. I'm 18 and a first-year student at Clark College, and I'm majoring in the cuisine management class. Clark College has been an ideal choice for my college education. It's 7 minutes away from my home, and my brother also attended here. And they have classes that I want to take for my career at a reasonable cost. Clark College provides so many resources to help students succeed. The bookstore has all the necessities to support my education. I have enjoyed finding a quiet space in the library to study or one of my many cafes to grab a bite to eat. Clark College was also unique in that it offered culinary classes. I've also loved cooking. Learning about the differences and the similarities that carries across cultures is something that I do find intriguing. It has sparked many new interests and has now become a love language that I love to share with the world. The instructors in the cuisine management program here are so knowledgeable in the field. You can see their dedication through the learning and the real-life experiences they provide to all the culinary students and me. I'm so grateful to be able to study something I enjoy doing, making studying fun and engaging. Once I complete the program at Clark, I hope to immerse myself in other avenues of education and continue with more hands-on learning in restaurant settings, and hopefully have the opportunity to travel and experience different cuisine and having the unique experience of other cultures and learning from them and their history of how food impacts their culture can make food such an engaging and rewarding experience. My future hope is to have a supper club to bring an immersive experience to guests in my home to use the use of decor and of food. Clark has allowed me to focus my education on something I love and has given me hope to attain my future goals. I am excited for all the possibilities for my future.
Thank you so much, Imani. I had the opportunity to see her in action when we had an event in the restaurant, so I appreciate that, well, all that you're doing, and looking forward to seeing where the future brings, what it brings for you as well. Thank you. As promised, I want to provide an overview of the college's revised strategic plan. Last summer, we began important work of updating the strategic plan. This work is in part to comply with the Washington State Senate Bill 5194, which called for us to provide support for equity and access within all state community and technical colleges. But also, as I mentioned earlier, it's what we needed, a roadmap for our future. We're finalizing the 2023 through 2028 Equity Centered Strategic Plan with input from over 300 students, faculty, staff, and community members. This work includes a revised mission statement, vision statement, 4 tenets of focus, and priority areas. I want to thank all of the members of the strategic planning team, and I know some of you are in the audience with us today, for all the time and effort that you put in to this process. We'll present the latest draft to you to review later this month and have an opportunity for final comments. But I want to thank all of you also who provided input. Your feedback and your input helped us refine the plan. And it's our intention that sometime within the next month or two to present it to the Board of Trustees for final approval. I also wanted to let you know, too, we have developed key performance indicators to align with the strategic plan. So we have a way to measure what we're achieving, what we're accomplishing, and if we're achieving the goals that we set out. So I will briefly walk you through the 4 tenets of the plan. They're equitable student experience, creating equitable student experiences, empowering our employee engagement, empowerment, and excellence, community partner engagement, and institutional effectiveness and equity. With equitable student experience, Clark College supports student success and retention through equitable access to quality education, pathways leading to transfer, completion, and living wage careers, and positive contributions to our community. Guided Pathways is our framework for increasing student success at Clark College. The creation of pathways, career pathways, that lead to family wage jobs, getting students on a path and keeping them on path, ensure that they're acquiring the skill and knowledge that they need to be successful, reviewing data on enrollment, retention, and completion, allows us to address equity gaps and employ strategies to eliminate barriers for student success. Clark has been commended for its effort by the State Board of Community and Technical Colleges for its work with Guided Pathways. An excellent example of work that's happening in that area is our area of study coaches, student success coaches. This is a partnership between the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Guided Pathways. They provide students support based on their area of study. So if a student is interested in social sciences or health or allied health, they're provided guidance specific to those areas. It's been wildly successful. An increase of 107% of the students are taking advantage of meeting with our success coaches that help with the onboarding, advising, making those connections on campus. They don't do the advising, but they make the connections on campus. So I want to highlight that initiative. And just wondering if there's a success coach. I thought so. In the instructional area, Clark is committed to increasing student access to STEM pathways. One example is completing phase 2 of a project to begin offering a bachelor's degree in computer science. Another example is the collaboration that's happening between business and math department to provide contextualized lessons in statistics that infuse job-related skills in Excel. The area of biological science faculty are progressing their work to improve accessibility in biology. in biology classes, and to increase opportunities for undergraduate research in early STEM outreach to students who have been excluded from those areas. There are many projects taking place to enhance the classroom environment for students, with a special focus on addressing equity gaps. Another initiative, well, Guided Pathways is our framework. We also initiated a Clark Cares program here, and we know that students are more likely to stay, persist, and be successful in a place where they feel welcomed and belong and supported. And so our Clark Cares program does just that. Faculty and staff are led primarily by student affairs staff, have made behavioral commitments in how we will engage students and increase that sense of belonging here at the college. So thank you both for doing that. For employee empowerment, excellence, and engagement, recognizing that our staff and faculty are the college, well, their students are the college, but we need our faculty and staff as well. They're clearly a major asset and resource for us. We are continuing efforts to support student success and equity by having outstanding faculty and staff here on campus. During the last year, Clark College added 15 new tenure-track faculty positions, including 9 conversion positions. So that was converting faculty from part-time to full-time positions. And that was a legislative initiative to do that, to increase the number of full-time faculty at the college. 25% of those faculty members come from underrepresented groups. And a component of each of their tenure-track faculty members' tenure-track responsibility is to complete a tenure achievement program, or TAP. And candidates must identify a goal related to their professional development in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I want to congratulate I don't know if we have any of our newly tenured track faculty in the room, but congratulations, and we're looking forward to the work that you're doing. Want to call attention to some of the work that's also happening in human resources, where they are revamping the onboarding process for new employees, making sure that some of the transactional work is done, but more importantly, how are we incorporating folks into the Clark culture? And looking forward to the work that's going on. There's also a wellness initiative happening through our human resources, making sure that our faculty and staff are practicing self-care, that they have opportunities for professional development, and just taking good care of each other. So thank you for that work. With our community partner engagement, Clark College continues to lead with inclusive excellence that strengthens the Southwest Washington community through interdependent partnerships, which are integral to the community's cultural, economic, and educational vitality. We're engaging with developing strategic and actionable plans to meet our community's priorities. We're creating educational pathways that reduce barriers for students to student achievement, and working to become the college of choice for workforce training options through building these deep and meaningful relationships with business partners. We're designing streamlined programs that lead to in-demand and high-wage employment opportunities, and cultivating an infrastructure to increase the college-going culture in our community. The state of Washington does not have a strong college-going rate, and specifically Southwest Washington does not. And we want to make sure that more students are taking advantage of college education in general, because we know the power of education and how that impacts the community. We seek to expand our reach in rural areas while aligning culturally relevant, future-thinking, and engaging educational programs to our students, employees, employers, and community. And lastly, with institutional effectiveness and equity, we maintain a focus on equitable, high-performing organizational structure with a positive campus climate that overlays that. We are excited to welcome a new Director of Communications and Marketing to the team next month. Okay. That's the guy who was doing double duty. And supporting the enhancement of our internal and external communication to faculty, students, and staff. We'll continue to practice and demonstrate equitable, data-informed, transparent decision-making, and ensuring our students remain at the forefront. Under this tenet, we will remain focused on compliance, equity, and long-term budget planning for our sustainable future to serve our students and community. And so there's certainly more detail to the plan that we will release once it's approved by the Board of Trustees. But in order to carry out the tenets and the work of this plan, we need committed leadership to do that. And I'd like to just share with you the commitment to leadership that we want to pose for our college. Over the last 2.5 years, we have experienced significant turnover in personnel at all levels of the college, but even at the college leadership team. And while this has been unsettling for some and maybe create a sense of instability, I think this too is part of our becoming. Borrowing from Jim Collins' book, From Good to Great, what's most important for us is to get the right people on the bus and make sure they're in the right seat. Sometimes we find that out right away, sometimes we don't, but we're going to continue to make sure that we get the right people on the bus who's committed and has the right constitution to lead Clark College in the way that it needs to go. We have been fortunate, though, to have some outstanding individuals step in and serve in leadership roles while we fill these positions permanently. In the spring, we will search for the 2 remaining vice president positions. We hope to have all of those filled by the summer. In addition to their competence and in their respective fields, the college leadership team will exhibit what Collins refers to as Level 5 leaders. And this Level 5 leader group exhibits strong personal humility, professional will. They are top leaders that are driven and ambitious and maintain a healthy sense of self-awareness, but most importantly, they're able to put the needs of others above themselves. We commit to lead with integrity and transparency and to develop other leaders throughout the college. Through our actions, we truly want to engender the trust and confidence and support of both the college community and the greater Southwest Washington community. And let me just close with this. As some of you may know, in Chinese culture, this is the Year of the Rabbit. And the Year of the Rabbit is a symbol, the rabbit in Chinese culture is a symbol of longevity and peace and prosperity. And so this has been also coined the Year of Hope. And so my hope, and while hope is not a strategy, we all know that, but for us, it is the source of our energy, our effort, and our commitment to be the best college in Southwest Washington, serving the needs of our community. Thank you all so much for being with us.